Welcome to my channel. My name is Evelyn. Let's make a typical Nigerian style egg sauce. So let's run through the ingredients we'll be using for this recipe. We'll be using some tomatoes and 2 habanero peppers. We'll also be using some eggs, and the ratio of eggs to tomato totally depends on your preference. We'll be using some vegetable oil, 1 medium-sized onions, some seasoned salt, and some curry powder. The typical Nigerian egg sauce doesn't require too many seasonings to actually taste good. So we'll start off by cutting our onions, tomatoes, and pepper. Just remember that the sizes don't really matter because they all break down while you're cooking. For the tomatoes, it's better to cut them from the inside, especially if your knife is not so sharp, because the skin on the outside can sometimes be difficult to penetrate if your knife is not sharp. So at this point, I'm just breaking in my eggs, which I'm going to season with just some salt. And like I said earlier, the typical Nigerian egg sauce, which I grew up eating, doesn't require too many seasonings to actually taste good. Alright, start cooking. I'll add some vegetable oil in my pot. Then I'll let that heat up. Then I'll pour in my chopped onions, and I'll keep a little for later. I'll just give it a good stir. At this point, I'm adding some curry powder. This not only adds flavor to your food, it makes your food smell nice even from a mile away. So once my onions are nicely fried, I'll add in my peppers. Then I'll stir. In goes my chopped tomatoes. At this point, you can put in as many types of vegetables as you want. But today, we are making the typical Nigerian egg sauce, the one I grew up eating. You keep stirring until your tomatoes begin to break down. So right here, I just came to stir it a second time, and as you can see, the tomatoes have begun to break down. The water from the tomatoes is drying up. So I'll just continue to stir until they totally break down. I'll then add in some of my seasoned salt, and that's it. That's all the seasoning we'll be using for this recipe. Like I said earlier, the typical Nigerian egg sauce I grew up eating doesn't require too many ingredients to actually taste good. I'll just give that a good stir and let it cook for about a minute. Now I'm pouring in my eggs. And once I pour in my eggs, I'll leave it to set for about 2 minutes. And that's because I like to see big chunks of egg pieces in my sauce. But if you don't like that, you can just go ahead and stir it right away. So this is actually after 2 minutes. So I'm gently stirring my eggs. So you can see how gently I'm stirring it because I don't want to scatter my eggs. I want it to cook and set perfectly. So once I'm satisfied with the way my eggs have cooked, I'll add in the remaining onions, the leftover onions, and this is just to add a little crunch to my sauce. And that's it, guys. Our egg sauce is ready. This sauce can be eaten with bread, can be eaten with plantain, can be eaten with yam, potatoes, and even rice. So guys, this is our typical Nigerian egg sauce recipe, the one I grew up eating, and I was always so excited about this recipe while growing up. Thank you for joining me to make this today. I hope you will give it a try. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, a big thumbs up. Until my next one, guys, bye.